Yay. Who has experienced a reality where the world around you is in balance and harmony? I have. Every time I go into the forest, I get a glimpse into how nature is always taking care of balancing the elements. Right now, here on the west coast of the US, and really pretty much anywhere you are in the western United States at this time, there are fires burning. And right here where I live in Southern Oregon, I woke up to ashes falling down. I woke up to a blanket of ashes actually covering my healing tent that I'm here streaming live to you from. And the sky at that moment, at sunrise this morning, was beautiful and blue, and I could see the clouds. And it was almost as if the smoke had condensed and fallen down like dew falls in the morning. And the sky was finally clear after days and days of smoke. Now, if I step outside, the smoke is growing thick, the ashes are falling again, and it feels like the end of the world. And yet, I know from my experience and from what I've been told through channeled wisdom and through my human teachers, is that endings are always the beginning of something else. And that means at the end of this life, when my spirit is done with this body, it will be the beginning of the next adventure. And so I thought it would be really wonderful to bring to you a really special guest. Oh, but before I introduce my guest to you, in case this is the first time that you're tuning in live to Gong Wisdom Council, welcome, welcome. I believe I forgot to change my name on Zoom, so I'm going to go ahead and do that while I'm introducing myself because I am not Ruth Anderson and would not presume to take the role of that amazing human that we all know and love at Enlightened World Network. Ruth Anderson, by the way, founder of Enlightened World Network, is such a dear and precious soul, and I am so incredibly grateful for the opportunity to share space with her and the other amazing light workers here on EWN One with the Earth and all of the Enlightened World Network channels. My name is Keira Lani, and I'm known as the Tree Gong Healer. One of my special gifts is tree communication. And so on this show, Gong Wisdom Council, we bring to you special guests that are trees. And this special guest that I have for you today, who's joining me here on screen, is an amazing 5,000-year-old bristlecone pine tree that lives in California. And this beautiful, amazing being that has been living on this planet since before the time of Jesus, when our ancient ancestors lived in balance and harmony with nature, has witnessed many fires passing through her landscape. And there's evidence in this picture that there may even have been a fire in the purview of this particular picture here. And I've found that these ancient trees that live a really long time, similar to the junipers in the high desert country, this is also a high desert country where these bristlecone pines live, in the mountains at the border of California and Nevada in the western United States. And they live in harmony with fire. They have for thousands of years lived with fire. The western United States is well known to be a fire ecosystem where many of the native plants depend on fire. We think fire is an enemy of plant life because it burns wood, but actually many plants and mushrooms depend on fire in order to survive and grow. There are seeds. I don't actually know if this is true of this bristlecone pine, but there are seeds that will not sprout unless they're first exposed to wildfire. And so wildfire is actually a balancing agent in nature. And we forget when it seems like our world is falling apart that it might just be part of nature rebalancing. And right now, there are volcanoes erupting, there are tropical storms brewing, there are earthquakes, there are wildfires, there are natural disasters, as we call them, happening all over the globe. And um, I just now realized that I thought I had my chat open, but I don't. So I'm going to go over here and open my chat so I can see if any of you are saying hello to me. If you are joining me live or watching the replay, let me know you're here. Let me know you're tuning in to Gong Wisdom Council. And let me know if you have any experience with wildfire or what it feels like to go in the forest and feel the balance of nature. Um, this isn't quite working, so I'm going to try again and see if it works this time. Hooray! I think it worked. So if you're watching live or on the replay, let me know you're here and let me know if you're feeling like you could use a little balancing energy of nature in your life, because that's what we're here for at Gong Wisdom Council, to bring you the balancing energy of nature, to help you to balance the elements of your being, and also, and maybe even especially, to bring the wisdom of the ancients through the channel um, that has been gifted to me to share that with you. And so if you have a question for Methuselah, this beautiful tree behind me is an image of Methuselah, one of the most ancient bristlecone pine trees. And this tree stepped forward when I called out to my Tree Wisdom Council. I called out to the Tree Council and I said, who has some wisdom to share with me about bringing balance in these crazy times of raging forest fires, what has come to be known as fire season here in the western United States. And so without further ado, let's drop into connection and communication with Methuselah. And I invite you to receive the wisdom that comes through for the collective. And if you're here live with me and you have a question that you would like to ask Methuselah directly, I invite you to type that in the chat as well. And if you have any questions for me, whether you're here live or on the replay, I'd love to receive those in the chat as well. When we do channeling work, it's so important to drink plenty of water. Water is an electrical conductor. We are electromagnetic beings, as are the trees and all life as we know it. And through our electromagnetic channel is how we can bring through wisdom from trees, from nature spirits, and even from true source God, Goddess, Mother, Father, God, and the angels, or whoever your guides that you most resonate with are. So let's drop in together and connect to Methuselah, this ancient, wise being of the forest, breathing in as if receiving the breath of life from this tree. Exhale, giving that energy back to the forest, sending your love out. And imagine you are walking slowly, mindfully through this forest, down this path. As you drop in to this vision of walking on the path through the forest where Methuselah, the bristlecone pine tree, lives, imagine that you can feel your footsteps connecting to the earth, feeling your heel touch down and each part of your foot articulate connection with the earth. Feeling especially the connection that the ball of your foot makes. Pausing each time the ball of your foot connects to the earth. Feel as if you have a root there. A root that, like a short spiky root that goes into the earth, sending energy down as you step, receiving energy from the earth just before that foot lifts off, as the other one is touching down, rolling through, connecting. And each time you step and your foot articulates slowly and your weight slowly shifts, you're generating more connection and a stronger energy exchange between your body and the body of the earth. Imagine that one full cycle of breath in a slow, smooth, steady cycle of breath, one full deep inhale, one soft, slow exhale, is how long it takes for each step as you walk down this path to meet Methuselah, the bristlecone pine. You walk up to her trunk where the sunlight is touching the beautiful colors of her wood, and you place your hands gently, lovingly onto her trunk. You feel the smooth bark where it seems that half of her has died. You can feel the vibration of life moving through her. You lean in for a loving embrace and breathe in the piney aroma emanating from her body. And you can feel her breathing in your out breath as you exhale. She receives with gratitude that carbon dioxide that will nourish her body allow her to continue to grow and thrive for perhaps another 1,000 years more. And now feeling this deep connection, this ancient wisdom, taking the awareness deep into the roots, feeling that slow pumping of water, that the slow heartbeat of a tree that pumps water from roots to branch tips every 2 hours or so. And I'm sensing an image. The first thing Methuselah wants to show me is an image of the Tai Chi symbol in action, of the energy of heaven, the fire from heaven, the spirit, the heavenly spirit of fire, flashing down to the earth like lightning bolts and being met within her body, within the body of Methuselah. That heavenly, fiery, lightning energy is meeting the water energy rising up from the earth. And these energies are blending into the unique energy vibration of life represented by this tree right here, right now. And she's sharing with me what a joy it is to communicate in this way. She hasn't communicated in this way with a human for some time. And she's showing me how each one of us is this same beautiful blending of energies, same but different, because all of our form, all of our myriad forms as life forms here on planet Earth, all at the core are this beautiful blending of energy. And she's showing it to me in this multicolored, magical cornucopia of delight. And she says to me, yes, Keira, you already received the message when you first connected with me early this morning, that nature is bringing herself into balance. And what can you do as humans? You can rest into your true nature. You can surrender to allow the power of nature to balance you. So if you're feeling overwhelmed, if you're feeling stressed by the weight of the world pressing down upon you, all you need to do is surrender to your true nature and allow that truth to guide you through this challenging time. Let me know if that resonates with you out there, whether you're here with me live or on the replay. I'd love to hear from you. What does it feel like to surrender to your true nature and allow the power of nature to bring you into balance? To me, it feels like deep listening, because as those words were coming out of my mouth and I was listening to them coming through my channel into my mouth, I was also receiving them as a human being who has asked this question of Methuselah. And what I discovered is that I wasn't actually sure, what does it mean to surrender to my true nature? And then I felt into that and I realized that what it feels like is deep listening. And it's kind of like this metaphor is coming to mind of riding a tandem bicycle. Somehow, every time that I've ridden a tandem bicycle in my life, which is twice, 2 times in my life, I've ridden a tandem bicycle, both times on the back seat. And the first time I was a child and I was riding behind a much larger child, and I only had one pedal, and so I had to push the pedal down every time it came up. And that was my entire focus. Push the pedal down, push the pedal down. I didn't even look around to know where we were going because I was just watching for that pedal to come up and pushing it down. And then the second time I was riding a tandem bicycle from the back seat, both the pedals were working, so I didn't have to look down. So I was looking around and I realized very quickly that I wanted to be able to steer, and it took an immense amount of trust and surrender to enjoy riding on the back of this tandem bicycle, trusting the person on the front with my life as I'm riding a tandem bicycle through very busy city streets and residential neighborhoods with one lane of traffic. Excuse me. Mm. And so, in this case, in terms of surrendering control to my true nature, this does not mean I just lay down and just let everything happen. It doesn't mean I surrender my power of free will. It means that I actually listen first to what my true nature wants to say. And so before we close out the show today, I'd like to go into a little bit more specific meditation around this advice that came through to allow your true nature to take care of bringing balance to your life. And I'm hearing now, and even in terms of bringing balance to the planet. We trust the planet, we trust the nature of the planet, and we trust our own true nature to guide the way. And for me, there's an importance of really being in connection to spirit, to God's source, Mother, Father, God, at this time as I learn to trust and surrender more and more each and every day. And so let's do a short meditation before we close out to get you in touch with your true nature. And if you find later when you're watching the replay, you find you have more specific questions for Methuselah, I'd be happy to bring Methuselah back to talk to you again later. So just let me know if that is the case. All right, dropping in this time as you drop in with the breath, lightly touch the center of your heart for a moment, and then focus your breath into the center of your heart, the center of your chakra system, the place where the heavenly fire energy is blending with the watery earth energy. And breathe into the center of your heart, and then exhale to a place directly outside of the center of your heart. And we're going to do a mantra from East Indian Vedic philosophy. And the mantra is very simple. On the inhale, in your mind, say so. And on the exhale, say hum. So, hum. So, hum. Focusing on the mantra so, hum. Thus it is. So, hum. We'll breathe quietly so you can connect to that inner sound of the breath and what the vibration of those unspoken words, so hum, feels like. And then allowing that mantra to continue on autopilot, begin to drop into the space between the cycles of the breath. A moment at the top of the inhale, a moment at the bottom of the exhale, in which you do not need to breathe. What do you find in the spaces between the breaths? This is where your true nature lies. This is where listening will bring the answers, the guidance from your true nature of how to bring yourself into balance. I invite you to take this practice, use it, and let me know what the results are for you. If you do this practice for 5 minutes a day for 5 days, I bet you'll begin to see results, or perhaps just after one sitting. If you have some results to share from today's practice, please let me know in the comments or reach out to me on Facebook, Keira Lani, and be sure to come over and follow Keira Lani Tree Gong Healer on Facebook and YouTube, Tree Gong Healer on Instagram and Twitter. And I want to invite you to a very special offering that I am bringing live to Zoom and my Facebook page, Keira Lani Tree Gong Healer. But especially if you come on Zoom, it's a really special opportunity to receive some powerful healing services for free. This is Tree Gong Healing Ministries Sunday service, global prayer service, healing practices for mind, body, and spirit. And if you come join me on Zoom, at the end, we will have an unrecorded group healing and support group session. I'm so grateful for the opportunity to be able to share that with you all. If you would like to join, there will be a registration link in the comments of the video, or go over to Keira Lani Tree Gong Healer on Facebook and come on in to Tree Gong Healing Ministries global prayer service every Sunday at 10 a.m. Pacific. That's 1 p.m. Eastern Time, or 6 p.m. UK time. And thank you so much to each and every one of you for watching, tuning in, whether you're here live or on the replay. You are so valued and needed fully in your power, expressing your true nature being in balance on this beautiful planet. And thank you so much to Ruth Anderson and the Enlightened World Network team for bringing all of this amazing programming through. Be sure to tune in to all of the programming, to all of the channels, and keep on sharing your light. So much love. Nice to see you, beautiful Callie. Thank you so much for tuning in today. So much love and blessings to each and every one of you. You deserve all the love. You are the light. Keep on shining bright. Thank you.